Hello everyone, so welcome back to my channel again. Today we'll discuss an interesting poem Every Morning I Wake by Dylan Thomas. But before I start my lecture, please, if you are new to this channel and if you have not subscribed my channel yet, do not forget to subscribe my channel because your subscription provides me a lot of motivation. So now without delaying our time, let's start our discussion. So here is a picture. So I ask you to guess what is this picture about, or what might be this picture referring to. Okay. And so another question is, from which movie this picture is taken. So guess it, and if you have guessed it, please write the correct answer in the comment section. Do not forget to answer in the comment section. Your answers are so another level motivation for me. Okay, so I think you have guessed the correct answer. So correct answer is this picture or still is taken from movie Interstellar. So why I showed you this picture? So I showed you this picture to make you understand that the poem that we are going to discuss is all about hope. The poem that we are going to discuss is all about humanity. The poem that we are going to discuss is all about living a simple life but a happy life. So why I brought this still from the movie Interstellar. So I brought this still from the movie Interstellar to make you understand that. So in this movie we go through a theme where the humanity is suffering from catastrophe, where the humanity is suffering from a kind of dystopian world or a situation where there are no enough amount of food is left. So the movie Interstellar movie is also about hope, a journey or adventure of a father and daughter to make humanity exist, to make human beings exist, by finding a kind of another planet where human lives could grow or when human lives could sustain. So this movie also teaches us about hope, about humanity, about something that we live for. Okay, so here in this poem also we will talk about similar themes, similar symbols, similar message. And the most important thing and the most famous popular thing to talk about this movie is the poem by the same author who has written this poem, Every Morning I Wake. Then that poem is, of course, none other than Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. Oh my god, this is one of the best poem that we have or I have read in my life. If you read this poem, then even if you are feeling weak, if you are feeling senile, if you are feeling despair, you will be boosted, you will be motivated because this poem has such a power. Okay, so look at the very important line of this poem: do not go gently into that night, but rage against the dying of the light. Do not go gently into that good night, but rage against the dying of the light. How beautifully the poet has presented these lines. The poet basically is saying that do not lose your hope, do not lose your courage, do not lose your frustration, do not lose your despair. Just try to come above it. Just try to rise above it and rage until the last gasp of your life. So try to make your 100% effort, try to make your best and excellent effort, and try to contribute something to humanity, so until you breathe for the last time. So do not die simply, do not die like cattle die, do not die like the millions of other creatures died. If you are dying, do something and then contribute something to humanity, then you can die. That's a good death, that's the immortality, and that's a kind of praiseworthy death. So this poem is included in the movie that also won, okay, Oscar awards, Interstellar. So I hope you know the director of this movie as well, the famous none other than Christopher Nolan. So he is one of the famous director of not only Hollywood, of whole cinema old. Okay, so now moving ahead, let's talk about the author. So who is the author? Now everyone has known the author is so Dylan Thomas. Okay, so and this author has a kind of very distinct, a very kind of mesmerizing, a kind of very unique lifestyle, because so he basically comes from Wales, and then his lifestyle, if we have to talk about his childhood, then he left school at 16, and he used to hate all the subject, but he used to love English. Thank God he used to love English, because being an English teacher, I should really love his attitude. Okay, the next one is he lived most of his life in financial crisis. Look, they're learners, so he lived most of his life in financial crisis, which is quite as not usual for us Nepali English teachers. Okay, so talking about next thing of his life, he was addicted to drinking. Okay, he was addicted to drinking, and it might be because of the poverty. So he was often seen smoking in a beer with a beer bottle. Of course, yes, and he was a literature. I don't have any problem with that. And he was succumbed to nervous breakdown. He was so kind of frustrated, dejected person during the latter part of his life, and then he brought the pathos of poverty in his writing. If we read his writing, then we see the pathos of poverty, the pathos of suffering. Okay, so these are the interesting okay, things of his life. So now moving ahead, here we can see his wife, and then the photo, isn't it, with bottle, beer bottle, and then smoking. This was his very common lifestyle. Okay, now look at here. Talking about this poem, this poem is about that kind of hope which I have already described by the people of a very common village, by the people of very rural area, a village called Milkwood, where people they have a hope. Though they are poor, they have a hope. They hope that their future will be good. They hope that their future will be blessed. Though they are very common citizen, they are very let's say low class people, but they have a hope. Hope in a sense that God is there, God will bless them, God will promise, and God will of course help them. So this is very interesting thing. And this poem basically is a story about these people who live near the milkwood. Isn't the milkwood is a name of place, and there are trees of milkwoods, and the story of this poem is quite, isn't it, motivating. It's about hope. Okay, so talking about this play means the play based on this poem, or the poem from where this the poem which is extracted from the play evokes a day in the lives of these inhabitants of a small Welsh town people. So now, what's there in the poem? Let's start. So, first stanza or the first line, the speaker says, "Every morning when I wake, dear Lord, a little prayer I make. Oh, please do keep thy loving eye on all poor creatures born to die." The speaker prays to the God, to Lord, please bless all poor creatures like us. We are poor creatures. Okay, we are not poor creatures only in the sense of wealth, material, but we are poor creatures because we don't have wisdom. We don't have sense of life. We are unguided. We might be misguided. We might be misled. So please keep on blessing us, keep on guiding us. And every morning at sundown, I ask a blessing on the town. Okay? And every evening at sundown, I ask blessing on the town. Every evening, he prays for whether we last the night or no. I'm sure is always touch and go. Life is not sure. Who knows who will live this night or not? Who knows who will wake up with life next morning or not? Nobody knows. So life is completely uncertain, isn't it? So during and this uncertain life is only will only be certain when you are there to bless us. So keep on blessing us. Don't, isn't it? Forget to bless us. Don't stop to bless us. Further, the speaker says, we are not wholly bad or good. We live our lives under milkwood. Look at how beautifully the speaker says that we, the common people, the common folks, we are not bad, not good people. We are common people, very simple, innocent folks who live under these milkwood trees. And thou, I know, wilt be the first to see our best side, not our worst. How beautifully the speaker says, you are every so the God, you are the omnipotent person, so you know our best side. Since you know everything, and we believe that you just see our best side, not our weak side. Oh, let us see another day. Bless us all this night, I pray. The speaker says that, okay, please keep on blessing with long life, keep on blessing with happy life, keep on blessing so that we will be living further and further and we'll be living a happy life. And to the sun we all will bow and say goodbye, but just for now. So now look at here, the speaker says that every morning and every evening he keeps on praying for the better life of his whole neighborhood, for the better life of his whole friends, for the better life of the whole people who live under Milkwood. So this is how this poem is about power of prayer. This poem is about power of faith. This poem is about power of belief. This poem is about power of hope. So this is what we should do. We must do. We must pray to the God. We must pray. We must have hope. And we know that if we keep on praying and if we are good in us, the God is there to bless us. The God is there to protect us. The God is there to bless us with a different kind of happiness. So this actually speaker here in this poem is the Reverend Ellie Jenkins, who delivers a morning sermon on his love for the village. So with the God. Okay, learners, I hope you got the point. The poem is so easy and the interesting one also. Okay, so in the meantime, if you have liked this lecture series and if you have liked this video, please do not forget to subscribe my channel and share this video among your friends and comment your things, whatever you have liked or disliked, and have a good day ahead. Hope we'll meet soon.